finishing up this bean area. Hopefully that wind is not too bad. And I kind of wanted to show y'all how I set up the garden with the mulch and the wood chips and all of that. This right here is actually not 100% this smaller sifted material. So under here is just regular soil. This is from the old garden. As a matter of fact, this is some of it right here. But this is full of weed seeds, I promise. So I actually need to cover that a little bit better. So what I do is I cover it with this sifted wood compost material, and the bigger pieces I use in the pathways, and this kind of goes on top and it suppresses the weeds and it provides some nutrition as well. I actually got some beans coming up here that I planted, but I have some more in the house that's growing to, you know, make this more uniform. I don't like direct sowing because of that reason. So let me show you how I figured out a faster way to create this. All right, so in my original setup, which still works, I would, you know, get this, take a scoop or so, put it in here and do that, and what's left is what's going on the path, and the finer stuff is kind of what goes down as mulch. But this takes forever, especially if I'm doing this entire pile like this. So out of my need to catch up to where I need to be with the garden, because I still feel like I'm behind, I kind of created something that's going to make life a little bit easier. So this is from Tractor Supply, already assembled. These casters individually are high, like it's crazy. So it ended up being cheaper to get this than it was to buy 4 casters and make this. So I got this, and what I did, I put this board here to kind of create an angle. This is what catches my wood chips. And this is this is 1/2 inch mesh. And the casters, the wheels are not spaced perfectly. If I wanted this to be right, I would actually move them to fit this a little bit better, but this is kind of how this works. These are rims from my little brother's bike that he never rode. He didn't want to start riding the other bike until I destroyed this one. But yeah, these are 2 rims. I just got zip ties securing the mesh to the rims, and this is enough angle to let the wood chips fall out and the good stuff fall in the wheelbarrow. So let's show you how. And you can't get a lot, you can't get a big scoop, because then you'll have your good stuff going into the container. You want it to be light enough. And you can hear the bigger pieces falling into the container. And I understand this looks labor intensive as well, but I promise you it is way easier than shaking this entire pile. And what you're left with in the wheelbarrow is something almost the same consistency as a compost. It's very close to being a growing medium, and this will provide some nutrition and acts as a mulch. Now if you want, you can go with a finer mesh on this, which is a 1/4 inch, which I did not do because it would take forever to get enough of it, because it won't let anything through. But I use that for like seed starting mix if I'm trying to get a finer product. But for mulching the garden, this is a good bet right here. Okay, get my wood chips. I get my mulch. So that's kind of how I do it, guys. Some improvements I can make, like I said, if I were to move these a little closer, this would line up better, but it's fine. And if I could get it set something like a drill here with, I don't know, some type of, I don't know if it would be belt driven or some type of teeth, a gear that would stick in here to do it. But this is something you would have to reset every time, because to use the wheelbarrow, you gotta take this off. But for now, this is good enough for me to just roll it with my hands, throw it off when I'm done, and roll everything over there. So, all right, so here's the newest load of wood chips or wood material that's going to be on a path somewhere. And here is what I have. Man, that wind, I know it's making a sound messed up. Here's what I have for basically a top dressing, a mulch, whatever. I'm going to experiment with planting directly in this. It is very woody. And you only get this from aged wood or aged wood chips. If you got someone who just chipped, matter of fact, I'll just show y'all. This right here, no matter how much you sift it, you're only going to get fresh wood. This is maybe a month old. This needs some years on it to get to this. Right now on the top, since the rain has kind of washed all of the finer material in, but when you get under here, you know, you need years to get this. So that's going to sit over there and probably be used for some pathways or some areas that I just don't want weeds in. But I'm not going to get a growing medium out of this. I cover the beds with this stuff too. I'll take a few more loads though. Just kind of spread it, a little layer across the top. What I'm gonna do is finish off this bean area with this stuff. I know the cat's watching me. They can't wait until I go back in the house so they can try to dookie in it. I need to cover it. All right, so this is what I do. Put a nice little layer across the top. Like so. Spread it. Now the last step, as y'all can see, I've done this already here, that's why it looks different, is to spray it. And what you're doing is you're washing down the more dirt-like particles through the wood. And what you're going to have on top is the wood showing, but the finer particles are going to go under it, which makes it serve as a mulch a little better. So you just kind of wash it through and you kind of see the wood appear because you're washing the finer parts through. I need to add some more wood chips to that row. I see my cardboard showing. Oh, please don't do this without cardboard. So if you can see in this second row right here, there's no cardboard in that row. And I am battling the grass and the wind with my sound. I'm battling the grass in here versus everywhere over there, zero grass, because there's cardboard under 100% of that. And cardboard is under here. Cardboard, see? The grass is very stubborn, and if you just try to cover it with wood chips, you're probably going to need 12 inches of wood chips to win against the grass. Just wash it on through. I'm gonna add some more wood chips there. It's kind of a low spot. Yeah, like my little border from Timo. I ain't too good to order from Timo. And that's pretty much it. So now all of the trellis area is ready to be planted. I was gonna do grapes here, but I'm just do the grapes right. I'm gonna give them their own spot. So I'm gonna do beans here, and I'm gonna cover this bed with the same material, spray it in, and something will be here. I'm not sure. So that's how I cover my garden in wood. Over time, having my garden with so much wood material used the right way will help improve the soil and help add some fungal activity to the soil, and this whole thing will have its own fungal web, but it needs to be applied the right way. Just don't go throwing wood chips everywhere in your garden, or your plants will lack nitrogen and they won't be very happy. So apply it this way and you'll be good to go.